What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. On the last part, we saw what happened in the Buu saga and a little bit of what happened in the beginning of Super. I'm sure most of you would agree though, the biggest thing that happened in the last part was the appearance of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, one of the strongest fighters in existence, but even he was bested by Beerus. Although, Beerus sees a bright future for the Saiyans. They got Super Saiyan God, and now they're working to combine it with Super Saiyan 4 somehow. We'll see more of that in this part. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of this series. Anyways, let's pick it from here. With the end of the last part, we saw Goku and Vegeta go to Beerus' planet so they could train with Whis, getting new levels of Super Saiyan God and possibly things beyond them. But before we talk about them, I actually do want to talk about the people on Earth, specifically Piccolo, Gohan, and Cargo. Naturally, the three of them are still training together, and they each have their own goals of what to work towards. For one, Cargo is now mentoring Goten and Trunks. Piccolo feels that this will be a better experience for him. Piccolo spent a lot of time teaching Cargo, and he wants to see how he would perform as a teacher. After all, Cargo is growing at a pretty impressive rate, and Goten and Trunks want to keep training themselves as well. And with Cargo's previous growth, that of course would rub off on Piccolo. He spent a lot of time teaching Cargo, so on top of his own training, this is going to give him some more experience. He'll learn some new things that he didn't even know before, as he further augments his own techniques and powers. I haven't talked about the two of them much, but as you expect, the two of them are a really strong duo, and they're a really strong trio once you get Gohan involved, who spends a lot of time with them. They're both Piccolo's students, and in a way, Goten and Trunks are kind of Piccolo's students by extension. So Piccolo inadvertently started his own school of sorts with 4 students right now. Weird how this guy was Goku's arch enemy not too long ago. Each of them continue on their own, motivated to get stronger just like usual. Goku and Vegeta on the other hand are on Beerus' planet as I mentioned. They're growing at a pretty impressive rate. After getting Super Saiyan God, they begin practicing with that until they can go beyond it somehow. Like I mentioned in the last part, they're just going to apply the principles of Super Saiyan 4 to it. They combine Wrathful and Super Saiyan to create Wrathful Super Saiyan, which I just call Super Saiyan 4 for simplicity. So maybe they can combine Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God, and eventually they do combine the two powers of those, creating Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue is a pretty amazing form for them, and it's definitely their strongest form at the moment. But even with that, they know this isn't their limit. They want to go even beyond Super Saiyan Blue already. Trying to combine God with Super Saiyan 4. Think about it. They combine Super Saiyan with Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan with Wrathful. So, could they do all 3 at once maybe? Beerus is pretty surprised. These two just got Super Saiyan God, and even more recently just got Super Saiyan Blue. They're already trying to move beyond it. Twice in a row. But that's better for him anyways. He did want a strong rival. And he got the Super Saiyan Gods that he wanted to see. And you know what? If those two are willing to get stronger in any way possible, it's only natural that they're going to try to move on from those forms as quickly as they can. Although, it is a little weird for Whis. He's interested to learn about Super Saiyan 4. It's so primal compared to what they have with Super Saiyan God, or even regular Super Saiyan for that matter. But he's definitely going to help them along the way in their path to getting stronger. As time passes, we're next going to go into Resurrection F. Of course, this is going to play out like normal in the beginning. Frieza's forces go to Earth, getting the Dragon Balls, reviving Frieza. Of course our group of heroes finds out when it's too late, but they don't mind. If someone's using the Dragon Balls for bad purposes, they'll be sure to stop the threat once it shows up. It will be a pretty good test of their power after all, but they do want to stop it sooner rather than later. Not much changes in the next few months. Frieza continues his training until he gets golden, then heading to Earth, ready to enact his revenge. To his surprise, the people there aren't Goku and Vegeta. He sees the other people that he saw on Namek, as well as some random Earthlings scattered about, but no Goku and Vegeta. But he can obviously tell that there's some Saiyans here still. Besides recognizing Gohan, he sees the other two, Goten and Trunks. Trunks has a tail so we could obviously see that he's a Saiyan. And as for Goten, I mean, look at his hair. He's definitely Goku's kid. Whatever, Frieza will improvise. He'll beat these fighters and torture them until Goku and Vegeta show up. He wants them to watch the show. But that might not even be necessary. As you'd probably expect, Frieza's forces get defeated pretty easily. They weren't really a threat originally, and they're not going to be a threat here. He doesn't care about that though. Frieza himself will step in, sorting this out. He wonders who would be stupid enough to challenge him. After all his training, he's so much stronger than before, and he wants them all to see how strong he's got. Surprisingly, the first one to step up is someone he doesn't really recognize. It's Cargo. He knows this is a Namekian, but he doesn't know who it is. But Cargo introduces himself. He's a Namekian that went to Earth to train with Piccolo. And he was there during all of Frieza's chaos on Namek. He remembers all the destruction and all the casualties caused by Frieza and his army. And he's actually kind of glad that he's got a chance to repay Frieza for it. Frieza laughs. There's no way a Namekian could be strong enough to challenge him. He's in his first form right now, and while he's laughing, Cargo delivers a punch. And Frieza can definitely feel it. His laughter stops and his cocky expression is wiped away. Just as he recollects himself, Cargo begins punching him more and more. Frieza taps a foot on the ground and launches himself up in the air, quickly transforming into his final form. He tells that Namekian he shouldn't have played dirty. Now he's pissed him off. Cargo wasn't even playing dirty, he was just being smart. He wanted to stop this right away, and even though Frieza's powered up now, he's confident he could stop this. The two of them begin their clash. And even in Frieza's final form, Cargo is too strong for him. He deals some pretty good damage to Frieza, and he's about to end the fight, but Frieza's able to buy time for himself. He launches a blast towards the Earthling fighters. Obviously Piccolo and Gohan are able to defend against it, but it's a distraction that causes Cargo to look away as Frieza then hits him. This increases the gap between them and allows Frieza some time to power up some more, showing off his newest form, Golden Frieza. Cargo can definitely see that Frieza's a lot stronger, and it turns out that Frieza actually has the upper hand. The two of them briefly exchange blows, and Cargo does perform decently well, but he can tell it's not really going anywhere. The two of them stop as Gohan then yells out towards Frieza. Frieza laughs at this. How cute. One of the monkeys is getting a bit rowdy. What is it? He thinks he could stop this fight? And Gohan confirms this. Frieza's surprised to see him acting so cocky. There's no way that he'd be able to defeat Golden Frieza. But Gohan tells Frieza one thing. He knows Frieza's scared of Super Saiyans. And Gohan does have access to Super Saiyan, but he lets Frieza in on a little secret. There's stages beyond Super Saiyan. Frieza's taken aback, but doesn't really believe it, and Gohan decides to show him, transforming into Super Saiyan 4. Frieza can't contain his laughter. He's literally transformed into a monkey, but his laughter stops as he's then hit in the back by Gohan. Frieza didn't even see Gohan move. It's like he teleported behind Frieza. Gohan actually has been working on Super Saiyan 4, and is trying to go beyond it somehow if he can. He doesn't need to rely on God Ki like Goku or Vegeta, because he feels like he could do something else with it, although he hasn't really tapped into that yet. One of the things he has done though is make Super Saiyan 4 much more efficient than it was in the Buu Saga, so stamina and time limits won't be a problem for him anymore. Although, he's not aiming to kill Frieza right now, he's aiming to distract Frieza, and it works perfectly. Frieza's so preoccupied with Gohan that he doesn't even notice Cargo behind him charging up an attack. As Gohan stares Frieza down, Gohan then stops levitating midair, dropping to the ground quickly. Frieza wonders why, as a beam then pierces through his chest. Piccolo actually gets a kick out of this. Cargo used his move, the Makanko Sappo, and it's actually hilarious to see Frieza humiliated in that way. Frieza falls down to the ground, dropping right in front of Piccolo. Somehow he's still alive. This guy's really a cockroach. Frieza weakly tries to prop himself up, and in front of him he sees the two Namekians. Consider this vengeance for what he did to planet Namek. Together, they both launch a Masenko, erasing the weakened Frieza from Earth, finishing the battle. If things got out of hand, Gohan would have gotten involved and stopped it, but he wanted to see how Cargo's grown. This was a great test of its abilities. He seemed to be powerful enough to match up against Frieza briefly. But even better, he saw the opportunity to kill Frieza and didn't hesitate. He's definitely grown a lot, and Piccolo's proud as well, obviously. Thankfully, Goku and Vegeta weren't needed. And it's kinda good for Goku and Vegeta because they have a surprise that they want to save, preparing to show it off in the next arc, the Universe 6 tournament. So in terms of the team, I don't think it would be too different. Of course, we still have Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo. In my opinion, there's not a need for Monaka here. They're already motivated enough, and they don't need Monaka there to motivate them even more. Goku and Vegeta are fine as is trying to pursue their newest forms. So, he gets to stay safe and doesn't get to be terrified. And the next two picks for the team are pretty obvious. They go for Gohan, and they recruit Cargo. Yeah, I know Gohan originally couldn't go because of scheduling issues, but in my opinion, that's pretty stupid and this is what if, and that's a really minor change, so he's going to be part of the tournament this time. That's like the smallest change I've had to make here. Not too big of an issue and allows Gohan to be part of this tournament finally. And of course, Universe 6's team is the same. And let's keep the order the same as well. Goku goes up first against Potamo, and that's pretty standard. His fight with Frost will go the same too. Even though Goku's much stronger, Frost is still playing dirty and using poison. Piccolo then goes up against Frost. And while the tournament has gone pretty normal so far, things will change here. Piccolo actually stays in against Frost. Instead of Vegeta wanting to get in right away, he's confident that he'll eventually get his time to fight. And he is kind of interested in seeing how Piccolo performs. So, when they see that Frost is poisoning people, Piccolo stays in and goes up against Vegeta. This is going to be a weird matchup. It's a lot more strategy based for Piccolo as he's trying to figure out ways to hurt Vegeta, which isn't possible it seems. He seems to be a tricky fighter. His attacks are easy to avoid, but he's trying to wear Piccolo out with heat. Although, they eventually hear the weakness of the Metal Man, and it would be pretty easy for Piccolo to come up with an insult. So he wins against Vegeta, although it wasn't really a satisfying fight for him. The next one is pretty interesting though, Piccolo versus Kaba. It's weird seeing a Saiyan from another universe. But it's important to talk about Kaba because there's one thing that I do want to bring up. So obviously in the scenario we've been talking about Saiyans keeping their tails, but Universe 6 is different and apparently those Saiyans don't have tails. The good thing is in this arc, nothing's going to change with the Universe 6 Saiyans, since Piccolo is the one fighting Kaba, but I do want to ask one question. When we inevitably get into the Tournament of Power, Would you prefer if the Saiyans stayed tailless in Universe 6, or do you want them to have tails as well? Like I said, it doesn't really matter here since Piccolo's not going to be teaching Cabba any Super Saiyan techniques or whatever. But it definitely will affect Universe 6 later on once we continue the story more. So let me know below if you want me to keep them the same, or if you want them to have tails just like the ones in Universe 7. This scenario is more focused on Universe 7 Saiyans after all, but since we are talking about Saiyans in general, it's worth asking you guys about it. And if you're watching this in the future, well, obviously you see the answer soon enough with the next few parts. Anyways, this fight is a pretty friendly one. Piccolo is surprised at Cabba's strength, and he's even more surprised to hear that he doesn't know about Super Saiyan or anything. Obviously Piccolo's not the one that's going to be able to teach him that, but Cabba did see it used before with Goku, and he is wondering if he's capable of doing it. Piccolo ends up winning the fight here, and next he's up against Hit. And you guys know Piccolo's my favorite character, but gotta be honest here, he's not going to do anything against Hit. Sorry to say, he loses here. And next up is Gohan, showing off Super Saiyan 4. Cabba's amazed to see this. There's more beyond just Super Saiyan? And this is fun for Gohan because it's been a while since he got to use his full power. Hit's actually caught off guard by this. Gohan doesn't waste time screwing around here. He knows Hit has some weird time abilities, so he tries working around that the best he can. He does actually get a few hits in, no pun intended, and Hit could definitely feel the power behind them. Gohan is starting to see through Hit's tricks, but as Hit fights, he continues improving. He starts getting more serious, and he completely overwhelms Gohan. Not to mention with his time abilities improving, Gohan can't even land an attack anymore. He tries his best to stay in the arena, but eventually loses to Hit. The next one to go up is Vegeta, and Hit immediately notices he's way more confident than anyone else. He questions Vegeta. Even after seeing Hit's abilities and his power, why is Vegeta still so confident? Is it just some false hope, or does he actually have some good tricks up his sleeve? Vegeta just tells Hit to watch closely. Vegeta's pacing himself, using all of his Super Saiyan forms, eventually jumping up to Super Saiyan Blue. Cabba's mind keeps getting blown over and over again. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan Blue. How many of these things are there? Hit's not really too fazed by this. Even in Super Saiyan Blue, there's a gap in power between Vegeta and Hit. But this is mainly just to gauge Hit's power, as well as trying to see through Hit's technique. Vegeta's a very strategic fighter, as we know, and by now, not only has he gauged Hit's power, but he feels like he knows a way to work around Hit's time skip. He's just going to need more strength and more speed, and he has the perfect idea for that. He has one more form beyond Blue. Wow, Gohan and Piccolo really miss a lot. They didn't even know about Blue until now, but apparently there's something beyond that? Goku is a bit bummed though. He knows once Vegeta uses this power, the fight will be over and Goku won't get a chance to fight Hit. But whatever, he'll let Vegeta have his fun. Vegeta then begins powering up in front of Hit. The tiles in the arena begin levitating, and at first the ki doesn't bother Hit, but as Vegeta continues powering up more and more, he's getting a little bit more concerned. Vegeta's hair grows longer, fur appears on his body, and the transformation completes. He goes into Super Saiyan 4. Hit's confused, this is the same thing that Gohan used. But Vegeta smirks, then letting out a shout. A brilliant purplish light fills the arena, as Vegeta's power-up completes. As the light dissipates, everyone looks in the arena and sees Vegeta's the only one standing there. In that split second, he knocked Hit out of the ring. And Hit's just standing there amazed. He tried to react, but he wasn't fast enough to. But in that split second, he saw something. Vegeta very briefly transformed into a new state. But because of how quick it was, he couldn't even get a glimpse of it. This is also a problem that Goku and Vegeta have. They do have this power within them, but at the moment, it's in such an imperfect state that they can't use it for long. They're trying to turn it into an actual form, and they know how to transform into it, but the power of it is just so insane that it drains ki way too fast, and it's hard to maintain control of. Even they don't really know what this form looks like, but in that brief moment, Hit saw a glimpse of it. It was like Super Saiyan 4, but there was a purplish tint to it somehow. But Vegeta was moving so fast that it was basically a blur. Hit can't even recount what it looked like. Vegeta tells Hit all about this form and what they're trying to do with it. It's definitely not completed yet and they got a long way to go. But he tells Hit that he'd like to fight again sometime, testing out his power even further. Universe 7 has won the tournament, but that leaves a question. What is this power that Vegeta just used? As you could probably guess, it's a mix of Wrathful, Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan God. So in this scenario for the new form, I've decided to go with something different. There's no point in me doing Super Saiyan God 4 or Super Saiyan Blue 4 because that wouldn't really make sense. If that were a thing, by default it should be Super Saiyan Blue 4 since there's already Super Saiyan in Super Saiyan 4. I know this is kind of confusing, but I'm just trying to explain myself here. Really, this would be its own separate thing. You'd have the three forms combined together already. Actually, you know what? I'll throw a little chart on screen showing what I mean. Super Saiyan plus Super Saiyan God equals Blue. Super Saiyan plus Wrathful equals Super Saiyan 4, at least in this series. But if you combine all of them together, it's gonna make this brand new form. Vegeta and Goku still don't know much about it, but they refer to it by one name, They just refer to it as Wrathful God. Wrathful Super Saiyan infused with the power of a Super Saiyan God. But what is this mysterious new power, and will Goku and Vegeta actually access it? Well, I'll save that for the next part. Sorry for the cliffhanger, but this is where we'll leave off for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? What do you think is going to happen in the next arc, and what's going to happen with Vegeta's new power, as well as Goku's? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon so you're notified about any future parts of This What If, or any of the videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.